All right, hello everyone. How do we balance answers and questions? That's the question for today. I'm Thomas, and welcome to my channel. I do mostly educational videos, and I specialize in this thing here called the Tree of Life. And you probably have seen this before. You may recognize it as the Hebrew Kabbalah. This is a different interpretation of the same diagram. But as you can see, we've got 10 different circles here, which are actually spheres. And they're numbered 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Then there's an abyss right here. Think a dotted circle called the abyss. 3, 2, 1, and then a 0 above the tree. So we have 12 different categories, and these are our 12 faculties of consciousness, at least the way I interpret it. 12 faculties of consciousness. Now, what I've done in addition to that is I've broken it down to another level, taken the whole tree and superimposed it on each one of the spheres. So we have 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, for a total of 144 different, what I would call fractal faculties or stages of life. And if you'd like me to send you a free copy of my annotated version of the 144 fractal faculties, just click the link below and I'll send you out a free copy. That will help you kind of keep score at home, because I'm going to be doing videos on each one of those 144 fractal faculties. Today we're going to be looking at number 58. But before we get started with that, let me just give you a quick rundown of how to evaluate this tree here. So the 12 faculties. 10th sphere is really our animal faculties: sense of instinct, survival instinct, also fight or flight. So this is the 10th sphere. 9th sphere is like domestic faculties. So this is what we're getting when we're growing up at home. We're very receptive. We soak up everything, especially from our parents or whoever's raising us. We memorize what they do and we imitate what they do. It's blind. It doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. We just soak it up and imitate it. 8th sphere is kind of similar to the 7th sphere, where the 8th sphere, 9th sphere is about the domestic faculties. The 8th sphere is really a public faculties, or the real world. So this is where you go out into the real world and you soak up everything that they tell you to believe, from the schools and the churches, the media, all the expert opinion. They tell you what to believe and you believe it there at the 8th sphere. Whereas the 8th sphere is like the real world, the 7th sphere is the imaginary world. So this is for people who, maybe they were in the 8th sphere and they recognized, they discerned, and they recognized that it wasn't really that great. And so they moved over here to the 7th sphere and attempted to come up with things that would improve upon what's going on here. So this is where, your inventors and your artists are located. This is our creative spark and our inspiration to do things that are going to make this better. Okay, it's also kind of our wedge. Our inspiration creates a wedge that moves us up into the higher part of the tree. So the 6th sphere is centrally located, as you can see, and this is really our free will faculty, our ability to pay attention and our ability to make decisions. The first of which would be to pay attention. And this is really how we move up the tree, because if you were thinking about this as a map, this would be the place where it's got the red arrow and it says you are here. So we are here, but in general, our attention is preoccupied down the tree. So we're looking at all of these conditionings here that we get from early in our life. The key to the spiritual practices is to turn around and to face the top part of the tree, where we can tune into all of these higher spiritual faculties. So the sixth sphere is our ability to pay attention and make decisions, in particular to turn around and face the top of the tree. Fifth sphere, this is our sense of justice. Fourth sphere is our sense of law and order. So these work together. This would be where our law and order is articulated. This is like a cosmology, any type of religious book where it pretends to explain all of the what our origin, where everything came from, what the meaning of life is, how everything works together, and all of that. And then the law itself is enforced here at the fifth sphere. So this is really like the law of karma. What comes around goes around. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. As you sow, so shall you reap. And then the fourth sphere is the articulation of the law. Also, it has to do with universal love, giving, seeking nothing in return, or loving our enemies. And then also universal language. So languages that we can all interpret. The abyss here has to do with psychic powers. So this is our ability to this also includes things like telekinesis and remote viewing and things like that. But it primarily, at least the way I interpret it, it has to do with our ability to recognize and act upon omens, psychic receptivity to recognize omens, and psychic heat to be able to act upon those omens. Then 3, 2, and 1 are really our divine faculties. Omnipotence, all-powerful. Omniscience, all-knowing or wisdom. And omnipresence, all-present, all eternally. And then the 0 above the tree is really everything that's not part of the universe. So this represents nothing. And this represents total mystery. Okay, so that's kind of the short version of how the tree works. Again, just click the link below and I will send you out the free copy of the 144 Fractal Faculties. And this will give you something that you can kind of keep score at home as you watch these videos. And also, it'll give you a teacher's perspective on being able to learn the tree. I think the key to really learning the tree is that you have to memorize the diagram and the configuration, and then you have to be able to understand just a little bit about each one of the faculties. Once you do that, you can kind of work with it on your own. It's something that I like, and it's helped me a lot in my life because it's a non-dogmatic system. It's not telling you exactly what you're supposed to believe. It's giving you kind of rough outlines of what each sphere corresponds to, and you can adapt it to specific instances in your life and specific perspectives that you have in your life, and come up with your own meaning of these things. So it's not really dogmatic that way, and that's why I like it, along with the fact that it's using numbers and geometry, which are things that work. They're always right. Okay, so now what we're talking about today is we're talking about fractal faculty number 58, which is called roll the hexahedra, roll the spotted hexahedra. And this here is a 6-sphere thing. and it's in the second fractal of the sixth sphere. So if you put the whole tree onto the sixth sphere, then you end up with the second aspect or the second fractal of the sixth sphere. So it's mixing aspects of the sixth sphere primarily and the second sphere, the second fractal here of the sixth sphere. So it's related to both of these. Now this one is about our free will, and it's also about turning around, really having to do with kind of ignoring these upbringing faculties and spinning around and delving into our higher faculties. So this is kind of like we have to make, we're making a paradigm shift right here. And when we do so, we find that we're stuck with a lot of ambivalence because we're stuck as a tweener, between our, these things that we learned growing up and the future, which is really now, of these other things that we haven't quite grasped yet, but we're trying to grasp them. So we're caught in between. We're being pulled in by both, and we're caught in between, ambivalent. We don't really know exactly what to do. So that's where the second sphere comes in. The second sphere comes in, which is having to do with omniscience, all-knowing. And so this is our wisdom faculty. So we are really consulting wisdom here when we're looking at the sixth sphere, looking at the second sphere from the sixth sphere. And the wisdom faculty comes down to like an oracle. So this is where we're consulting an oracle, like a tarot deck, something to that effect, some random chance process that gives us guidance to be able to make decisions in our life. Okay, so that's fractal number 58. How do we balance answers and questions? Number 58, roll the spotted hexahedra. Stage 58 is about resolving the ambivalence and confusion that inevitably arises with higher consciousness through chance processes that communicate solutions, providing an answer for every question, thereby balancing them. Roll the spotted hexahedra, 6 to the 2. For good advice, roll the dice. The spotted hexahedra, not just for biblical patriarchs or Delphi's royal oligarchs. The chancer will answer to uncommon commoners like us, too. If we want to take more responsibility for what we do, a guide for difficult and or important decisions in our future, between the new and old paradigms, to balance our ambivalence, to balance answers and questions, nowhere to turn for ambivalence, for advice. Remember the surrogate elder, the chancer, because the real life elders are not as reliable as they used to be. I wish it was the other way around, but now their mental infirmities abound. This elder is always passed out snoring on the couch. Maybe this elder has CTE, as he has become a full-time grouch. Alzheimer's, PTSD, or dementia, and no longer can we vouch for their pronouncements. That one is sedated by all those mind-numbing pills in his pouch. Bless his heart, but compared to consistent, competent counsel, he's a complete slouch. Victim of the products of big pharma, sad diets, and Agenda 21's rollout star Daddy Fauch. Instead, roll out the spotted hexahedra. Just throw them up so the creator can set them back down with a message specifically for us and our question. Random chance gives the creator the opportunity to intervene. The law gets a break when it is random chance. The natural laws no longer hold. Take a chancer with the cowries, the coins, the cards, the cubes, and other platonics with spots, with dots, the drawn lots, even random number generator plots, and internet search engine bots. Fancy the dance with chance and advance. The chance answer from the wiser advisor. But you may not like the results of the chancer, because the truth hurts sometimes. And oracles, chancers, can be hard to decipher until we build a dialogue with the deck, with the oracle, with the chancer. Until we get to know its language and its mannerisms. Which is to say, really, until we get to know our language and our mannerisms. So take a chancer. Okay, so that is number 58, roll the spotted hexahedra. So it's kind of talking about, modern life where there aren't as many wise elders out there as we really need to be able to, search for advice. And when we don't have that, then we go to the surrogate elder, which is the random chance divination of the tarot deck or some other form of random chance. When you have random chance, that gives the creator of the universe the opportunity to come in and speak to you directly. Okay, so again, if you'd like to get that 144 Fractal Faculties for free from me, just click the link below, and I will be coming out with more of these 144 Fractal Faculties and other subject matter on this channel. So stay tuned. All right, have a beautiful day.